So let me ask you, how do you feel when you are out of control? Like when this happens. Ah! All right, not to fear, not to fear. We are all set. I've got this and 18 more Costco-sized packages out in the garage. Now, just kidding. We bought just that one, and we bought it before all the panic buying began here. So what's with the panic buying anyway? Well, I'll tell you what happens with panic buying and why panic buying happens. It happens when people fear that they are out of control. And feeling out of control is actually quite normal in uncertain times. Now, listen to this really, really interesting quote. Our anxiety comes not from thinking about the future, but from wanting to control it. What happens when we're living in the world of the unknown? Well, there's really two tacks that you can take, and I would look at it and say there's the low road and then there's the high road. The low road is that auto response, the automatic brain. Well, what's the number one job of the brain? It's to keep you alive, right? So when things are coming at me that are very foreign, that are strange, that are troubling in some way, then my automatic brain goes into overdrive and it triggers my threat sensitivity, and I start to feel like, oh no, we're out of control. That's the low road. The high road is the measured response, the thinking part of the brain, the part of our brain that can look at it and say, okay, I may not know everything, and in fact, there's a lot that I don't know, but what can I control? That's the high road part of the brain at work. Now, the fact is, there's a lot right now that's out of our control. And for those people who have that control freak tendency, it's going to be troubling for you right now. You are going to experience some anxiety along those lines. But what if we did this? What if we focus instead on what we can control? And there's plenty out there that we can, in fact, control. And I want to share with you some very specific ideas on things that we can control. When I'm controlling what I can control, I get that sense of confidence to be able to move forward. Now, here's one thing. Here's the first thing you can control. You can control your own growth. The internet anymore is an online university. You can get way more than a college degree just by studying free stuff on the internet. Now, I'm not talking about watching cat videos on YouTube. I'm not talking about hanging out on social media, but there are so many sites where you can educate yourself, whether it's for your professional career, for your personal, for your relationships, your health, whatever it happens to be. This is a great time to grow. You can also take advantage of, what are those things called? Those, they're like rectangular and they have paper in them. Books. You could read books. What an idea. The second thing you can do is you can control your own effort. That means you can plan out your day. You can plan out what's going on in the next week, what you really want to accomplish. You can plan out, if you're a sales professional, your prospecting calls. You can plan out staying in touch with your backlog. You can go do those things and increase all of them. The third thing you can control the inputs in your life. You can decide what goes into your brain. Now look, I know in a time of a lot of people, the first thing we want to do in the morning is pick up our phone and go to the news page or whatever your source is to see what happened overnight. And I just want to tell you, the world did not stop spinning overnight. If it did, you wouldn't have the ability to pick up your phone. So do something positive. You can control the inputs. Yes, I think you should stay informed. But you can do that with quick little hits rather than camping out and watching the negativity over and over again. Remember, your customer needs from you positive energy, and you can only give out that which you have inside. A fourth thing you can control is you can control your own involvement. It's reaching out to neighbors. It's connecting with people. You know, we talk about social distancing. I understand physical distancing, but it doesn't mean we have to break down the connections. What can you do? It's not difficult to figure it out. But finally, and maybe most important, you can control your own attitude. One of my favorite quotes all time from the psychologist Viktor Frankl: everything else can be taken from a man except for one thing, the last of the human freedoms, the ability to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. That's what he called it. The last of the human freedoms is our right to choose our attitude. We can choose to be positive. We can choose to be uplifting to the people around us. We can choose to be grateful for our life. You can control your attitude. Let me make sure I'm clear on this. I am committed to doing my part to keep myself safe, to keep my family safe, and to keep society safe. I am practicing that physical distancing. I've made changes to my business and to my organization. All of that I'm taking very, very seriously. But it's all short term, and I'm not letting it detract me from my long term. I'm doubling down on my long-term growth, on my goal planner, on all of the things that I have planned over the next several years. This is an opportunity to lean into those things, not away from those things. There are always opportunities in times like these. There are lessons to be learned in times of adversity that you cannot learn in times of prosperity. So I want to lean into that, and I want to encourage you to do the same. Hey, one last thing before I wrap this up here. Kindness acts as its own network. That is, the kindness that you pour into the people around you, they end up pouring into people around them. It is really something about how this works when I am intentionally kind, when I am intentionally grateful for the people in my life, when I am demonstrably appreciative of who they are and what they mean to me. That kindness that gets shared starts to network around. And what a beautiful opportunity to take advantage of that right now. Reach out to someone, let them know that you love them, let them know that you appreciate them. Share the kindness. Thanks so much for watching the 5-Minute Sales Training. Until next time, learn more to earn more.